Sunny, you can start now. It's 7:05.
Yeah, hi, Amar sir. Good evening. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, good evening. You're audible.
Okay.
That's for others. Please confirm in the chat box.
Good evening, guys. Hope you can hear me. Hello, everyone. How are you guys? You can ping me in the chat. Hope I'm audible. Let me quickly share my screen and you can confirm in the chat. Guys, I'm audible? Yes, no? Okay, I can see some responses. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Let me quickly share my screen and you can confirm that as well. So, guys, just confirm me once. My screen is also up and I'm audible properly. Okay, Balram, thank you so much. Okay, Gautam, thank you to that guy. Okay, guys, so let's quickly start. Let me make this presentation in full screen first, and then we can see what we are going to have today. Okay, so let me start with the presentations. So before I start, like I always, I have a question to all. What did we cover today? I mean, yesterday, sorry. What did we cover so far? And you can ping me in the chat. What did we cover? And what did you understood so far? So let me see some responses. Angular, Aniket says, okay, yeah, we covered Angular. Can we get into details, some high level bullet points, what all we covered? So that we are in sync and we do not forget the things, whatever we covered. So I need some responses, guys, from you. So today is the final day of our session. Today is the final day of our workshop, and it will be a little lengthy. Maybe it can go a little longer, but if you guys respond, we can make it on time. Okay, I have a lot of items to share with you guys. Not only theories, program, practical sessions, many things we are going to see. So I need your active support. Okay. So Angular, AngularJS. Okay, what else, guys? What is it, Angular? What is the difference between Angular and React? You remember, guys? Why do we need these languages? Quick responses, guys. One word, two word, one line, anything is fine. Okay, I'm seeing some responses, but I don't think everyone is pinging. You guys forgot whatever we covered yesterday. We ran some programs also, right? We created our first Angular application. Did you guys saw that, tried that, something like that? Okay, Balram says Angular is a framework. Thanks, Balram. Correct. Okay, others are not responding. Maybe you guys forgot or I'm not sure. You guys there, right? Yes, no? Okay, that's fine. Even if you have forgot also a little bit, that's fine. At least you remember something. Why do we need Angular? Okay, yes, Lakshmi. Correct. It's for creating the front end. Correct. So we covered some of the topics on Angular. So what we are going to do today. So for today's session, correct, Lakshmi. Correct, Jyoti, Balram. Thanks for your responses. Now you guys are responding when I am moving to the next slide. That's fine. At least you are responding now. Thank you so much. So today's session, I have broken down this into two parts. Okay. The first part, we are going to see about the database. Till now, we created the application, we processed it, sent it to the server. In Java side, some processing is happening. Now we want to store something, or from the database, you want to get back something. So that database layer, we are going to explore more today. Okay, the final layer, which was not touched so far. And when your program is created, when you create a Java program or in any language, your program and database, in between them, how the saving and retrieval of data happens. So for that, what do we need? Can we directly do it? Yes, no, or do we need some support? We are going to see all those things. Okay. Then part two, we are going to cover what all we covered so far. We'll have a quick recap, and I'll give you some tips and tricks for your interviews and your preparations. And obviously, you guys might have been stressed with so long journey. I'll give you some stress management tips also. Okay. Ready, guys? Shall we move? Yes, no, all good. Okay. Clear with the agenda? Okay. So I'll continuously cover too much theory now. I'm giving you a heads up. It will not be boring. You will understand. So you can keep responding in chats if you have any doubts or concerns. But yeah, because database is more about queries and all. So we'll see that. So I'm just giving a heads up. Little bit theory will be there, but definitely at the end, you will see live applications and all. Then that will be fun. Okay. Okay. So let me move to the next slide. Okay, so you can see like we will have a quick introduction to what is database, what are the frameworks, what are the different frameworks we use for development, why do we use it, what are the advantages, disadvantages, those things only we are going to touch today. So before I start, again a question to you guys, what do you understand by this term called database? You might have heard this word, right? What is it? What is your understanding, guys? Guys, used to store data. Okay, Parikshwari, correct. That's correct. Collection of data, Ayush says, that's also correct. Storing the information, that is also correct, Lakshmi. Okay, so you guys have some idea, right? Okay, okay, fine. Again, you guys are making my job easy. Okay, okay, let me move to the. Is my voice not clear? Mukul says my voice is not clear. Am I not clear to everyone? Okay, okay. So Mukul, seems like some network issue. You can rejoin if you want. Okay. Okay, thanks Balram for confirming. So if you remember this diagram, guys, hope you remember this diagram. We started our journey from this diagram, right? You send some requests over the internet and on the server your application runs. And from this server, where your application is hosted, some data gets stored or some data gets received and that is thrown to the front end, or from the front end, the data is being sent through the server to the database. That's what we did so far, no? Remember guys, this architecture, this is called client server architecture we covered initially when we started our sessions. Yes, no, all good. Okay, okay, thanks for the responses. So this is what happens, right? You send some request, it goes to the server, server again communicates with the backend. If something needs to be stored, that will get stored after all the proper validations and checks. If something needs to be retrieved, that information server will get it for you, and from server that will be sent as a response. Okay, clear? We are going to see how we'll create this request and responses. That is what we are going to do through the programs. But yeah, mostly we are going to focus now on this layer, how this data is getting stored, how it is getting retrieved, what are the different kind of databases. These questions will be answered in the upcoming slides. So let's have a quick introduction to DBMS. Anyone knows the full form of DBMS? Guys, quick responses. We have to cover a lot of things. All easy topics only, but things are there. Database management system. Yes, yes, yes. You guys, all of you guys already know this, huh? Okay, cool. Correct, Athar, Yadav, everyone. I can see your responses. Thank you, guys. So you guys are correct with the full form, and hope you have some idea also. Still, I'll give you an overview what this looks like. Okay. So database is something. It is a software you can say, which is used for managing the database. This is DBMS. It is a system. Okay. So you insert data, update data, save data, modify data. Data will be stored in the form of tables or files. Those kind of things is possible through DBMS. Correct, correct, Lakshmi. You guys are correct. It performs CRUD operations. So you guys have some idea. Okay. So this is what we have. We can define this database management system. This is the definition. We can manage database. There are many databases in the market now. MySQL is there, Oracle is there, Postgres is there. Okay, depending upon the requirement and the organization use, we can use any of them. Some are paid also, some are free versions also. So all kind of databases are available. So what does this allow you? Why do we need it? So it will allow you, these are the uses. As an end user, you can perform these kind of operations. Insert, update, delete, like the CRUD operations, right? Yes, Balram, correct. Big data, Hadoop, they are also there. So let's see some of the properties of, one second, sorry, the characteristics of DBMS. Okay. We have something called, this is a famous interview question, the acid properties. They're asking, what is acid property in database? So you should know this. Something called as atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. How you are storing the data. Think of like a payment module. You are buying something on Flipkart or Amazon or Swiggy or something, no? You do some payment. Due to some reasons, if your payment fails, so neither your money should be lost nor the order should be placed successfully. These things should be taken care, right? So from bank's point of view, you should be happy if your money is not deducted. Or even if it is deducted, you want a refund, right? Yes, no, guys, or do you want to lose your money? Getting it, guys? The payment example which I'm saying now. And in case of the purchase, okay, you want the order product not to be ordered without payment, right? So from the Flipkart point of view, application point of view, whole transaction should not happen properly. I mean, if it is not happening properly, it should be rolled back. There should be some recovery mechanism. Or if it happens, it should happen smooth. Correct? Those things are defined by these properties. Got it, guys? Yes, no? All good? Understanding so far? These are some of the acid properties. Like I said, some transaction is taking place. Okay. Either it happens or it doesn't not happen. Only these two things happen. There should not be partial transaction because that will lead to inconsistency. There will be wrong data when again the user wants or someone wants to check it. Okay. So these are the properties you should know. So from interview point of view, you should know these properties. Okay. And anyways, if you're not understanding anything here, like I say, take this as a notes. Once you start going deep into this, you will understand each and every term and you will start playing with these terms. Okay. Let's see some of the advantages of database and disadvantages of DBMS. So like my screen, you can say it's very easy to maintain and the backup option is there and it allows multiple user interface. So these are some of the advantages. And the disadvantage wise, the cost, maintaining it, it's a costly affair. Okay. Size, from size point of view, it will take a lot of space. So that memory management becomes again a headache for someone to maintain. And the failure, if something gets lost, if your database gets corrupted, so your complete information, the organization is dependent on the database, right? If an organization database gets corrupted or I mean some failure happens, you can think how much loss it will be and how much trouble it will be for everyone. Not only the organization, even the users. Okay. We'll see some of the database types. These are some of the database types available in the market. So there is something called a centralized database, distributed database, NoSQL database, cloud database. You have network, hierarchical, relational, all these kinds of databases are available. Okay. Let's see what is something, there is something called as RDBMS. This is called as Relational Database Management System. Okay. So what is this? So whatever databases we have, no, SQL or MySQL, they are all based on some tables and in the data are stored in some table format, right? So that's why there is a collection of data. Okay, there is a collection of data. So this is what is being used in RDBMS. Since there are a lot of data and they are organized as a set of tables. You can see here this definition. So that is easily accessible with the help of RDBMS. Okay. So what is a table? I just spoke about table. So table, like it's something you can see you my screen here. The data will be stored in the form of rows and columns. Okay. So there will be a column which will be a primary key. Like this will be unique. It will not be same for all the rows. With this, you can distinguish it. Okay. Then these are some of the properties. We have rows and columns like this. The database, in the database, the data is getting stored. So this is what we have, something called as table, or it is sometimes also called as a relation. Okay. Let me show you something called as row. So like you see, this is called as a row. When you insert something into the table, this you call it as a record or a row. It will have its column name, and here you will be having the values. So we'll see some of the more terminologies that are being used in this DBMS. So slowly you will get some idea. So column is something the actual data. Okay. Here in the column, there will be the title and there will be values. Even sometimes you will be seeing there are null values also. That is also sometimes either due to requirement or due to some error, the null values get inserted. So that also sometimes happens. So this is called something as column. What is a data item? Then if you pick any one row, I mean atomic data, like out of the table, if you're just picking something, some one record, that is called as a data item or data cell. Okay, you just pick something that is called data item. These are just the terminologies. You should be familiar with these things. Okay, then there is something called as degree. What is a degree? Here, if you see, there is a table. Okay, we have a table. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, right? So these 4 attributes, you can say this student table has 4 attributes and the degree will be 4. So number of attributes is called degree of table. Okay, just terminologies, you should be familiar with this. So it becomes easy for you to visualize and relate further. There is a term called as cardinality. Okay, so what it is, the total number of rows at any time, whatever you see is called as cardinality. So here, if you can see how many rows you can see at a time, so you can see 5 rows. So its cardinality is called as 5. These are just some terminologies. I'm just saying you should be aware with this, okay, so that you can visualize and you get some overview of DB. Clear, guys? All good so far? Yes, no? Getting it? Getting some familiarity with this? Okay. So, Lakshmi, I think you asked before what is the difference between DBMS and RDBMS. So, a lot of you guys might be thinking, what is this? So, I knew this question will be coming up. So, both more or less look similar, but there is a lot of differences. Okay. So, we'll see the differences now. Let's see the differences. So, these are some of the differences. Again, from interview point of view, you should know this. Okay. First of all, obviously, the full form is the difference. That is very common. Then in DBMS, the data are stored in the form of files. But in RDBMS, the data are stored in the form of tables. Okay. DBMS is stored, I mean, used for very small amount of data. But if the data goes very much, I mean, the size increases, like for Flipkart and all. So they use something called as RDBMS. Here you can manage a very large volume of data very easily. It's not possible in DBMS because managing files is complicated. Okay. So if you have a single user, DBMS is okay. But if you want to play with multiple users, large volume of data, like I said, go with RDBMS. Clear, guys? The difference? You should know this. And let me move to the next slide. I hope I answered your questions, guys. Okay, I was seeing this question in the chat. Yes, no, all good, guys. Fine. Shall we proceed? Okay, so I hope you got some idea on database now. Yes or no, guys? We'll just move to SQL now. Okay. Shall we proceed to SQL, guys? Yes, no, yes, no. I need some responses. I want you guys to be little active, then I can be with same speed if I see your responses. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. Okay, so let's see what is an SQL. Like the full form, structured query language. So first thing, this is not a database. It is a query language. So people get confused whether SQL is a database or it is a language. So if you should know, this is not a database. This is actually a query language. This is used to create some query, pass some queries, and get your data. Okay. So you need to install some database in your system. It can be anything, Oracle, PLSQL, MySQL, or anything. And with the help of this SQL, you can start exploring your database. You can start querying it, and you can start playing with the database. Okay. So full form, like you already know, this will help you in maintaining the database. You can easily, play with the data. The CRUD operations can be taken care with the help of SQL very easily. So that's why we should learn this. Also, you might have heard this word very much famous called as data science and data analytics, artificial learning, machine learning, chat GPT, BARD, and all those things which are trending in market, right? Mukul says my voice is breaking. So again, I need to confirm, guys, is my voice breaking? Okay, thanks, Atharv. Thanks, Jyoti. Okay, guys. So this, like I said, so data science, from data science, machine learning point of view, you should know how to play with the data because everything nowadays is about data. How well you are managing the data, how well you can process the data. So you should know the basics of SQL and the DBMS and RDBMS. Okay, got it, guys? So here you can create tables, drop tables. In the tables, you can put some data, play with that. Okay. And then you can start using the database and you can put some constants. So everything is possible. We'll see all those things in the upcoming slides. So Vaishnavi is asking, what is the main work of SQL? So a SQL is actually, you have a database, right? Suppose Oracle or something you have in your system. You want to get data from there, or you want to put data from there, right? So this SQL is actually a query language. It will help you in creating some queries. Using those queries, you can either put data there or you can take data from there. That is what we have. Okay. Yes, Varsha will be covering all these things. I'll show you everything. I'll show you simple programs also. So if you have any questions, just ping me in the chat or else whatever you guys are pinging, it's already there in the slide. So do not worry. Everything will be covered in this short span of time. So do not worry, guys. Everything will be there. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Vaishnavi. Okay, so let me move to the next slide. What do we have? So these are some of the common commands. Okay, these are the common commands which we use for playing with the database. Okay, think of this as a game. We are playing some game here. These are some rules. Okay, the game name is database, and we are just getting it familiar with it. So we are going to create some tables. We'll insert some data. We'll delete some data. We'll modify some data. Those things we are going to do. At the end of the day, when you create some web application, right? Suppose you create an application like Swiggy or Myntra or Yatra. You want to store some data, which user will be seeing in the front end. Or as an end user, you want to give something to Yatra or Myntra, like your order quantity, order amount, some discount is your payment method. You want to give all these things. Okay. Then those things, you are something you are sending it to an application and something you are receiving from the application. So those things are possible with the help of these queries. And at the end, database layer sits. So those kind of communications we are going to see. Okay. Lakshmi says, sir, what is the use of DBMS once we selected for this particular job? So if you are given some database job, suppose you are given, you are being asked for managing database. So you will be managing the application's data. Okay, there will be a lot of data. So there will be queries and there will be a lot of constants and all. You need to manage those things. So there will be APIs that will be calling your application. So in that case, you will be focusing on data and your role will be mostly in the database layer. How to manage the data in and out. That's what you can think, Lakshmi. Okay. Okay, let me move quickly to the next slide. Okay, thanks, guys. Okay, let's see some of the syntaxes. How we are actually going to like done with theory. Theory is obviously boring, but you should know some basics so that we can start looking at the syntaxes. Okay. Let's quickly look at the syntaxes now. So suppose you have a table, suppose a table called employee. From employee, I want to get some data. I want to get employee's address or employee's name, or I want to get everything. So you will have to write something like this. Select what you want to get from the table. So there is a table name. I want from employee table name. I want to get either everything or something. So this will be the syntax look like. Yes, culture, you guys are already giving queries in the chat. Okay, okay. Thank you. So let's see some of the queries. How do you create it? So this is a query to create a table. Okay, just give a create command and then create table and give a table name. Then you have to give column name, the data type, and if some constants are there that you can put here. Yes, Varsha, I'll show you all those things. So in the upcoming slides, I have all the answers to your questions. Okay. So I'll show you that also. Okay, fine. Then this is how you create a table. So this is an example creating employee table with employee ID, data type as number, size as 4, and it should not be null. It will have a first name, last name, salary. The data types we covered in Java also, in JavaScript also, right? String, number. So different fields will have different data types. Okay, so like this, you can in the database layer also you have to create a table accordingly so that it holds correct type of data. Correct. It's all database is all about data, right? So you have to maintain the quality. So you should be sure what kind of data type you are using. Okay, while creating or fetching. Okay. So this is the syntax to create. I'll show you with programs also. Okay. Let's move to the next. What do we have? Select command. Select is for fetching the details. Okay, like I said, here select. Just see the query. Select this column from my table name called employee details. I have a table called employee details, and I'm giving some condition where salary is some number and order by is for sorting. So this will just fetch some records and it will show all these columns from this table, and it will show the employees only whose salary is equal to this amount, and it will sort this also by the last name. Got it? Yes, this is for reading the data carton. Correct. Let's see the next query. This is for delete. So if I want to delete something, okay, then you have to use delete from its plain English, just like a plain English. If you know English, like I said, you know English, you know HTML, you know JavaScript, you know Java. Now you know SQL also. Okay. So if you know little bit English, you know a little bit more than little bit programming languages. Only thing is you never visualize this from this angle. Okay. So like delete, you can see simple English, delete from table name where some condition, delete from my employee table where first name is equal to Sumit. It will delete Sumit's detail. Okay, simple. What do we have next? We have something called as update. Again, pure English. Update. I want to update some data. So update some table. I want to update some wrong entry. I have given some wrong detail of some employee. So update my employee table and set the salary. Now his salary, you want to set it as rupees 500 or 5,000 or 1 lakh. Okay. That you can give where some condition, where you want to set. So that employee's ID you have to give. This ID will be unique, right? So just change the amount or whatever field you want to change and give the condition. Just using where condition, you can update the records. Okay. Let's see. Next example, what we have is for alter. So alter is suppose while creating table, you made some spelling mistake or some data type instead of name as a string, you gave name as number, or instead of mobile number as number, you gave as string or something like that. Different kind of data type you gave. So something wrong you gave using this alter, you can modify your table. Okay. So you can see here I'm trying to modify employee details table. I'm adding the designation. Initially I gave some number here. Now I'm going to change this as varchar. Varchar is a data type in database side. Okay. Oracle. Now dropping. Dropping means you want to delete something. Either you want to delete or remove, then you have to use drop table. Okay. This is for dropping the table. If this table exists, it will drop table name. Okay. Yes, this will delete the full table. Correct. Okay. Let's see the next query for creating. You have to create a database. So how do you create? This is the syntax. Create database and give your name. That's how it will create. Pure English, not even Java, not even SQL, nothing. Pure English, guys. Okay. Yes, no, all good. Fine. Then for dropping the database, you have to use this command called drop database and database name. Okay. So delete will empty the records, and drop will drop the table itself. Okay, the table itself will be dropped. That is the difference between drop and delete. Delete will delete the records. It will not delete the table. The structure will still be there. But if you want to delete the table totally, you have to go with drop. Okay. Okay. So let's go to insert. I want to insert some record. So my table is here. I have some table. My insert into table employee. Give the column name. In the column names, what are the values you want to put? So you can go with insert command. Okay. Hope you got some idea, guys, on SQL. What is a SQL? DBMS you understood, RDBMS you understood, SQL also you understood, right? Clear? All good, guys. I need some responses. Hope I'm not boring you today. These things are very basics, so I'm just running so that I can show you programs also, because I will spend more time on the programs today. And that's what I want to show you and give you a visualization of the programming world. Okay? Yes, no, guys, quick responses. Hope you are loving it. Okay, thank you, guys. Let me quickly jump to the next slide. So, like I said, now we covered SQL area, right? So where is this framework coming into picture? This is the next question. Okay, thank you, Gautam. Okay, so this picture again I'm bringing again and again so that you don't forget this picture. So whenever you keep this picture in your mind, no, you know full stack development. 80% of job is done if you know this picture. Okay, so you create a front end application, send request and get response back from the server. This server is taking the data or bringing the data from the backend, and this backend can communicate with database. We saw some queries now how to play with database, but your Java cannot directly go and write select star from table name, drop from table name. All these queries it cannot directly do. It needs someone here. Someone should be here to help, right? Then from here, like in this server here from HTML, there was JavaScript or AngularJS or React.js to communicate between the actual server and the client. Something was sitting here, right? Some of the TypeScript and JavaScript we saw here. Similarly, here also directly we cannot write all the queries and all. So there should be someone. That someone is called as framework. Okay, we'll see a lot of frameworks, whatever we can show. Cover. Okay, the most famous ones, we'll see that, whichever is trending in the industry now. Got it? Vaishnavi says, can you please explain what is the difference between front end and back end? So I think you missed the previous sessions, Vaishnavi. You need to visit those. Okay, front end is something client side which is visible, back end is which is not visible. So these things we have already covered. Okay, just go through the previous session. Okay, let's see. So like I said, where the frameworks will sit, here the frameworks are going to come into picture. Okay, why do we need them? From our programming language, whether it is Python, Java, C or anything, and to the database, there should be someone who will communicate, will transform, who will translate, and who will help these two guys to communicate with each other. So those things are called as frameworks. Got it? So these are some of the famous frameworks. You can think it of as a libraries of backend server-side programming. Okay, they will give you ready-made templates and everything. They will give you. You don't need to write everything manually. It will make your life so easy that you will create applications within minutes. Okay, applications minutes in ready means production-ready applications you can create. You can create which is ready to go to the production directly. Something you can create so quickly with the help of frameworks. Got it? These are some of the famous frameworks which we are using in the backend. Okay. Yes, no, guys, all good. Connected with me so far. These are the top 10 backend frameworks which are very much trending in the industry. Spring Boot, Django, Laravel, Flask, Express.js, Cake PHP. A lot of things are there, but these are the ones which are very much in demand. Okay. And like I said, as a full stack developer, you cannot leave anything, because if you leave anything, you are not a full stack developer. You are an expert in only one layer. So to be in a full stack, you need to know everything, right? The framework, the front end, the back end, the JavaScript, the HTML, the Java, the Spring, or the database, or everything. Okay. Good, guys, following so far, not getting confused, right? About which layer we are discussing. Between the server and between the database. We are now going to land there. Okay. Clear? Yes, no? Quick yes or no? Okay, I am not seeing any responses. Okay. Thank you, Vasha and everyone. Okay, let me move to the next slide. Let's see some of the frameworks. So the first framework we are going to discuss is something called as an Hibernate. Okay. Have you guys heard of this term, this framework, Hibernate? Anyone aware or know some idea? If not, anyways, we are going to cover it. Okay. No problem, Varsha. We are going to see you. Whatever new you are seeing here is a learning. We are going to explore and then you can practice more and explore it in deep. Okay. Okay. Anyone knows? Yes, no, at least guys. Just respond. Okay. From YouTube, I am seeing some responses. Yes, no. Shreyasi says yes also, no also. Okay. I'm not sure saying both. Okay. Okay, guys, no problem. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm here to break these things into very easy and simple language so that you never say no again. Okay. After this session and workshop, you will definitely say, I'm not a full stack developer, but I know everything about full stack development. You can say that. I'm definitely sure you're going to say that. Okay. So let's see. This is a framework like I told you. So what I told you, right? There is a server. So before this, there was server, right? And from this server till the database, there is someone who will communicate, right? That's what I told you, right? Before your Java application, before that part, there is a front end. Here sits the server. And in the server side, you have Java application, right? And then there is database. Correct? Yes or no, guys? Forget the middle guys. Forget these two idiots. Okay. Database is there. Your Java code is there. And your Java code got the request from front end. Okay. Through the internet, through the server. Now this Java code either will take something or give something back to the front end. So taking something and pushing it from here, hope you can see my screen, taking some data from here and pushing it to the database, or taking some now database from the, some data from the database, and it has to send something back to the front end to the user. It needs a framework. This is what we are discussing here. So in Java, everything is class and object, right? You saw, right? Object oriented programming in Java, everything is a class and object. Employee is an object. Salary is an object. Company is an object. You remember, guys? Object, template, instance, class, variables, methods. We covered these terms, no? The Java world. Yes, no, guys. Quick responses. Okay. So you simply create objects there. At the end of the, programming world, at the end of the Java program, you have to create some objects. Okay. So these objects, it can be some data, employee one, student two, product one, dress one, food two, something like that, or payment one, payment two, everything is an object, right? Yes, no, guys? Yes, no, object world, Java. So this object needs to be stored in database, correct? So you cannot directly store an object in the database, no? You need to convert that into some format which database can understand, correct? So that's where this ORM, object relational mapping, ORM stands for object relational mapping. So it will convert your object into a table form of data. Like I have suppose employee with four fields, okay? That it will convert into a table like data and it will send it back to the database. Or from database, it will take a student record and with this help of ORM tool, it will convert back into an object form of type. Like from like a row table, you have rows and columns, right? So that rows and column will get converted into an object. That object will get converted and passed to Java application. And this Java will send a response in some format. We are going to see what format that is. Okay. But definitely I got a response here. Now I have an object. That object holds the data, whatever this table was holding. Okay. So that's what this ORM framework is doing it. Got some clarity, guys? High level, why do we need this ORM framework, guys? Yes, no, any questions? Yes, no, guys. All good. Okay. Just for converting table data into object format or object data into table format. That's the use of framework here, this ORM. Okay, let me show you how it works. With more slides, it will become more clear, whatever I'm blabbering here. Okay, so we are discussing Hibernate framework, right? So you create one object. One object is coming from Java, and this object goes to ORM. Okay, so object relational mapping, it will see the object's data, name, user, salary, address, and it will store it in corresponding rows and columns. Okay, when someone needs this object, it will just read here. From here, it will again read name, address, phone number. This ORM will convert that into an object and give you an object. Take that object and send it back to the application. Got it? Getting some idea how the data is flowing in and out from database and through the framework, through the front end? Some idea? I hope you can visualize. Don't worry if you don't understand each and every word, but at least you can understand the flow. At least I'm able to clear that. Yes, no, guys, I need some responses. Okay, thank you, Gautam, Varsha. Okay, so let's have a quick overview how this framework works. Okay, you have a Java application. In this middle layer, this is the Hibernate area. Okay, Hibernate has something called session factory and all those things. So don't worry if you don't know everything here. In one session, you cannot cover everything, but you can now visualize what happens. The database sits here, your Java application sits here. Hibernate will take conversion of your object in the tabular form, or the tabular form data needs to be converted to object. With the help of its internal architecture, it will do these conversions. So this Hibernate framework takes care of this. You don't need to worry. You don't need to go manually write everything. Who will take care? Hibernate framework will take care. You simply have to give order to this Hibernate. Got it? Through some configurations and some commands, you have to just inform this guy, hey, this is my object, go and put it in the table. Or hey, go back in the table, see there if some record is there, convert that record into object format and give it to me. These kinds of order you have to give to Hibernate. Get it? Clear, guys? Hope we are understanding, hope we are following. Okay, don't forget about, don't get confused with these words, but at least if you can understand the flow, slowly you are going to cover everything and you will become zero to hero. Do not worry about that. Okay, if you can follow till here. Any questions so far, guys? I'm waiting for your questions. Yes, no. A quick yes or no. If there is no question, I'll proceed, guys. Just let me know. Yes or no, guys? Okay, all good. Okay. Thank you, guys. Let me move to the next slide. Like I said, you can visualize here. Okay, there is a database layer. In the database, you have the data in this format, right? ID is there, first name is there, last name is there, and it has its own data type. In Java, you will create a class, student class, int ID, string name, email ID. You will have some functions. So this is a Java class, right? And this is a database. This is what we are discussing till now. This Hibernate framework will take care of the conversion. Got it? Clear? This is making some sense, right? Why do we need this framework here? Because Java cannot directly communicate with SQL, or SQL cannot directly communicate with Java or any other language. So you need some frameworks for conversion. You know Hindi, I know English, but both of us cannot talk, right? There is someone who knows both. That converter or that third person who knows both the languages is called some common item, or you can say it as an ORM. Here, this language is a different language. This language is a different language. This guy knows everything. He knows Java also, he knows database also. And it will help you in talking. It will help these two guys to talk to each other. Got it? Hope you got some picture here. And you can now tell me what is this Hibernate thing, or anyone. Okay? Cool? All good? Shall we continue? Okay. Again, the same example from more like this is your database, student record, this ORM. It can be anything. Hibernate, JPA. There are many frameworks. We are just discussing about Hibernate, Spring Boot. A lot of things are there. We'll see in the upcoming slides. But with Hibernate as a base, this Hibernate is actually the base. Okay. Like for understanding Angular or React, you should know JavaScript, right? Same way, to know other frameworks, Hibernate is the base, you can think. Okay, getting it? That's why I'm talking so much on Hibernate, because once you know Hibernate, other frameworks will become a child's play for you. Once you know JavaScript, Angular or React are child's play for you. Get it? Oh, okay, Shreyasi, I'm seeing your message now. That's fine. Thank you. Thank you. I got your point. Okay, so let's move to next slide quickly. And what do we have? Again, this, okay, how does this talk? It has its own language called Hibernate query language. This Hibernate, it uses not SQL, it uses something called as HQL, Hibernate query language. Okay, it will convert the SQL to HQL, and its own terminology. Okay, this will take care. The query looks something like this. Instead of select star from employee, the HQL something like this, it will look only from employee. This is an example of HQL. Okay. So Chathali asks whether there is an encryption or decryption. So we have to, as a programmer, you have to take care of that. We have to write logic, you have to define framework, you have to design your code. We'll see those things, Chathali. Okay. Let's have a look, an overview and feel of ORM framework now. Okay. Hope you got the idea how the database and ORM is working on. Okay, so this makes some sense. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So I hope you got some idea on Hibernate, guys. Yes or no? Shall we move to some other framework now? Something called as Spring framework. This is also a very famous framework. Okay, it's in high demand. Okay. Thank you guys for your responses. Moving to the next. There is something called a Spring framework. We just covered Hibernate. Now we are going to see Spring framework. Okay. So what is this Spring framework? We are going to see in the upcoming slides. So by definition, you can say this is a lightweight framework. But before going to all these theories, just see this diagram and then you can relate it. You have a client, you have your mobile device or user here. You send a request, and the control goes to controller layer. Okay. This controller will take the request and it will give the response depending upon, after all the validations and everything, it will say take a request, send it to the service. Okay, this service will be responsible for creating the model, whatever you see in the front end. And if it needs something from the database layer, it will communicate through the repository layer to the actual database. Here the framework and all will get called. Okay, and this calls takes, internally they call each other for managing the request and responses. Okay, the service layer, repository layer, and controller layer. This is how you break your application. Got some idea with this picture how your request is getting passed from controller to service to backend. Whatever we covered so far, it's just breaking down. It's visualizing is making easy for you how the data is actually getting passed. Okay, getting it, guys? Some ideas you are getting it how your data is getting passed, request and response. Okay. Okay, so here only we are going to discuss now Spring framework. This is actually a Java platform. Okay, it will help you in managing the beans. In Java, you create objects, right? In Spring, there is something called as a word called beans. So it is responsible for managing the beans. Okay, let's see more how this framework is helping you to maintain your code and communication easier. So your framework is there, right? And with this framework, you are sending or receiving some data from your code. So your code is, your code is calling the framework, or your framework is communicating with your code. This kind of operation is happening, and this is where this framework, whether it is Spring or Hibernate, they come into picture. Okay, getting it, guys? Just for managing the objects, this Spring framework is very powerful tool for managing the objects. Objects here, you can call it as beans. In Spring, we don't call objects, we call objects as beans. Okay, same thing only, but here you call them beans. Like in Java, you call methods as functions, all those things, no? But in JavaScript, there is no concept called methods. They call simply functions. So like that in Spring, we call these as beans. Okay, Objects only, beans. Same thing you can think of. Okay. Once you create your application, suppose you create a shopping cart or something, any kind of application you create. Okay. That needs to be hosted on some server, right? You create a project in Spring or some dynamic web project you create, you have to host it on some server, right? You remember applications are of two types, standalone and web application. Yes, no, guys, forgot types of applications. For ones which you need internet, the ones you don't need internet. Do you remember it? Application runs on a server on some port. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are responding. You remember, huh? Okay. So once you create a Spring application, you need some server, right? There are many servers. Apache Tomcat is there. Jellyfish is there. Web server is there. Okay. Jetty is there. So on some server, you need to run your project. Okay. So this is how it works. You send a request. The request goes through some protocol. Okay. It goes to the web server, and on the server, your application is hosted on some port. From there, your request and response start communicating to and from. Okay. Let me show you the Spring Framework terminologies. If you are not aware of anything, these items, no worries. You can think it like it's managing the beans. Like I told you, objects. There are objects in Java, no? Classes and objects. In Spring world, you call those objects as beans. Just a naming convention, okay? In this short span of time, I cannot go in detail. At least you can visualize what this Spring framework is. There will be a lot of beans. You have a product, application, think of Flipkart. So this Flipkart is an application. In that electronics item, you can take computer is an object. Redmi is a mobile, that is an object. Then some utensils, that is an object. Dresses, that is an object. Some grocery item, that is an object. So many objects are there. Who is going to take care of you? Are you going to manage each and every object, create object, destroy object? So that is very tough, no, as an user to maintain thousands of millions of objects. So the Spring framework, once you define it here, these are the beans. You don't call it here objects, I'm saying again. You inform this Spring framework, hey, these are the beans, and whenever I need it, give it to me. If someone calls this particular bean, give it to him or her, store it or save it or process it. So that's what all will be taken care by Spring framework. Got some idea, guys? Why Spring framework is needed? To maintain the beans. Okay, beans means objects only. Only in Spring 1, they are referred to as beans. So you as an end user, you are not going to, as a programmer, we will not sit and maintain all the beans. No? It will be a headache for us. So let's assign our task to someone. Let's delegate our work. That part is called Spring framework. Like I told you, frameworks will make your life so easy that you can sit and chill. Just explain them once and they will take care of everything. Okay? Yes, no, all good. Yes, no, guys, quick responses. Okay, thank you. So let me move to the next slide. I hope you got some idea on Spring framework. All good. Shall we move to the next topic called as REST APIs? I'm just jumping between topics to topics so that you can visualize fully the end-to-end, whatever we covered so far. Because whatever we did, we should see some practical applications also, no? So these are the remaining topics. We'll have a quick overview and then we can jump to programming sessions. Okay. Shall we continue? Okay. Okay. So what is API? Okay. REST APIs. This is called application programming interface. Okay. You send some request from the client in the form of HTTP. It can be get, put, post, or delete. You see that URLs are changing in the front end, right? You write facebook.com or twitter.com/post/surveys/chat, something like that, the URL gets changed. If the URL gets changed, the request is sent to the server and the view also gets changed. Correct? You change the URL, request goes to the URL, the view also gets changed. Yes or no? The view gets changed through something called as JSON. This will be seeing in the upcoming slide what is JSON and all. But that's how the flow works, right? So you create some endpoints or some APIs or URLs all these things are same only. You can call it as APIs or URLs. So once you create an API, you call it as REST API. Okay. Representational state. You call it as representational state. Okay. So that's what we have called as REST API. To create some endpoint and that you can use it and consume it in the front end. Okay. We'll see in this next diagram. This will make more sense. So hope you can see the screen. Just focus on this link. There is some link you might have been, you guys are always sitting on the laptop mobile, no? So you are seeing some link, okay? Something slash separated and then some question mark and then some values, then and all like this. You are seeing some URLs, right? Every day we are playing with these things only. So this area before the question mark, this is called an endpoint. You keep playing with the application, these things keep on changing, but the front part, the first half remains same, right? The moment you change the URL, change the methods or parameters, the view also gets changed. The response from the application also gets changed. Correct? Yes or no? Guys, yes or no? Understanding it, following it so far? You have a client, you have a server. On this server, your application is hosted. You send some API calls, okay, with some parameters or functions, and you see the response back. Correct? Correct, guys? So this is what we call as REST APIs. You create some APIs, and once you start consuming it, you get the request and response. The way you send the request, the way you design the API, it will behave in that fashion. Okay, that's what we are using Java and Spring Boot to create your REST APIs that will be used by the front end application. Okay, all good, guys, so far? Shall we move? Yes, no, guys. Okay, let me move to the next slide. I hope you got some idea on the REST APIs. Can we use using Postman, Gotham? So yeah, you can check once you create the endpoint, no, you can use this tool called Postman. Okay, you can use with that. Okay, any questions, guys, till now? Hope you are understanding and following. Shall we proceed? Guys, please respond. I can see Shreyasi responding on YouTube. Okay, guys, am I audible? Okay, thank you, Sakshi and all. Okay, Gautam. Okay, thank you. So the response, whatever this APIs will send to the front end, that is called as JSON. We saw, right? Once you send some request, it will go to server. It will process it with the help of APIs. With the help of APIs, it will process it, and you will see some response in the front end. This response, what we are using, is called here through JSON. This JSON is nothing but JavaScript object notation. Okay, this is very lightweight. Okay, it's very readable and it makes very much sense. It's very easy and user friendly. So you can see the key value pairs are there. These key value pairs, you can use it and display it in the front end. So that's how the response comes in the front end. You can see here first name, last name, and all these things are there. You create a text field or table and display all this data in tabular form. So the JSON will look something like that. In curly brackets, you will have the data in the form of key value. Okay, got it? Yes, Gautam, you are correct. Key value pair data. That's how you send the response from the APIs. Okay. Got some idea, guys? Yes, no? Okay, I can see responses. Guys, quick yes or no? We are almost covered. We are almost there. We are almost there. Some yes or no? Understanding so far? Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Finally, let's see something called as Spring Boot. Okay, we just saw Spring managing beans, right? So you have to, in Spring, you have to create your own configuration file. You have to use the dependencies. You have to do a lot of configuration when you start creating a project, no? In your Eclipse or IntelliJ. Initially, you will have to do a lot of configurations to start your first coding part. You have to do lots of configurations. So what Spring Boot does, it will help you in saving the time. Those configurations part, it will take care. You have to just inform him what kind of object you want, or what kind of dependencies you want, or what are the things you want in your project to start. Just tell him in one word, these things I want. Give me a ready-made product which I can use. I want a ready-made project. I don't want to create the folder structure, files and dependencies. I don't want to all those things. There is a guy called as Spring Boot. So whatever Spring needs, the manual configurations as a programmer we have to do, the Spring Boot will take care. Okay, you have to just inform it. Okay, got some idea? It is built on top of Spring framework only. Okay, clear guys? It makes your development very easy. The moment like you start, you want to create a Spring Boot project, no Spring project, directly go and create Spring Boot project only. It will help you in creating a Spring project directly. There is a URL. I'll show you all those things. But this is what you can say. This is called as RAD, Rapid Application Development. Immediately you can start creating your application and push it to production. Okay, that's so it becomes so easy and quick. That's where Spring Boot framework comes into picture. With this diagram, you can relate it, because theories you guys will be feeling bored. So you see there is a Spring framework here, and this is the Spring Boot framework. You want to drink some mango juice, okay? So you have to put milk, some sugar, and some flavors. Put it in the mixer. Manually, you are doing so much items. Then you put the fruit. Then you start the mixer and then grind it, and then you get the juice. I want to go for apple, or suppose some other, what do you call this? Fruit. Okay. So manually, you see so much effort I have to do here, right? But in Spring Boot, simply give the fruit. It already knows what are there. You have already configured this. If fruit comes, this is the process to make juice. If banana comes, these are the flavors I need to do. So you have saved your efforts somewhere. So this Spring Boot is taking care of the configurations. You can think it like this. Got it? Got some idea how Spring Boot is making your life easy? You don't have to manually write everything. The Spring Boot knows. You have to just tell him, okay, when fruit is there, do this. Okay, when REST APIs are needed, give me these dependencies. Okay, I need to connect to Oracle, create the configuration. I need to connect to MySQL, create the configuration. That's what Spring Boot will do. With one word, it will do everything for you. It will make the configurations ready. But with Spring, if you want to connect to database, Oracle, then you have to manually write the configuration for Spring and the connectivity with Oracle. If you change it to some other thing, manually you have to put everything. So you see a lot of efforts and pain are here, right? Got it, guys? Yes, no, all good. So this is what Spring Boot makes our life easy. You get immediately you get a project which is ready to run on the production. Okay, got it, guys? All good? Yes, no. We are almost done with the frameworks. These are some of the fun facts. You can have a look. Okay, why Spring is called Spring? It's just a fresh start after the winter of traditional, because after J2EE Java 2 Enterprise Edition, the Spring was created, so they named it at the name of the season. Okay, these are all just for some entertainment and knowledge. Also, I have put it here. So hope you guys got some idea on the frameworks, and I hope you guys are not like this. You are not bored. You are not silently cursing me on the other side, and you guys are still alive and active. I hope you guys are not like this, right? Guys, some responses. You are not bored, right, guys? All good so far? Yes, no? Please respond, or else I will think you guys are just like this Tom and Jerry. Okay? Okay, thank you, Gautam. I can see some responses. Okay, Venkat, thank you. Thank you. You are also there. Others, hope we are still connected. Okay, so if you are not bored, if your situation is not like this, you're not bored with theories. Anyways, theories are needed, right? That's the base. Without theories, you cannot jump to practical, or you cannot visualize the items. So if you're not bored now, we can continue, and we can see something called the real-time application. Okay, that's what makes you happy, no? So if you want some break, guys, we can have a quick break, or else we can jump to the program directly. Are you guys ready to see the real-time application, the database side program, and the real-time application which I have in my system for you? I have an application for you to demo that consists of everything, whatever we have covered so far. Okay, Anusha, Autumn, everyone says we are ready. You guys don't want break, huh? Seriously? People on YouTube, you don't want break, guys? Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, I'll just take 1 minute break. I want to drink water. Just 1 minute, huh? Yes, yes, guys, I will continue. I'm not taking break. I just wanted to have some water, okay? And I see some questions from YouTube. Shreyasi, Amar sir will respond to you at the end of the session, okay? Okay, so I hope everyone is excited now to see the programs and the real-time use of HTML, Angular, JavaScript, Spring Boot, Hibernate, Oracle, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever we covered so far, okay? I have an application for you, which is called as bug tracking application. Okay, this is I'm going to demo you. It covers everything, whatever we have discussed so far. No? I have implemented everything possible here. It consists of Angular, Java, Spring Boot, authentications, authorizations, REST APIs, front end using Angular and TypeScript, CSS, everything is there. Okay, you can see it live now in my system. Same thing, you can put it in any server and you can host it and you can access it across the internet also. That is called as integrating through AWS or cloud. Okay, but I don't have that now. I have in my system. I can show you locally how it works. Same way it will work there also, just like Amazon or something. Okay. Yes, yes, it is about to finish. Okay. Okay, okay. So you got some idea, right? So let me quickly move to the program. And before that, I will show you the SQL part. We covered SQL today. So I'll quickly show you the demo of SQL. Let me minimize these things and just minimize it, minimize it. Hope you guys are there with me, right? We are moving to the next slide. And all guys, you are there, right? I'm going to show you some SQL programs, quick SQL programs. Okay, this is something called as SQL Developer. I have installed it in my system. You can download any version, Oracle 10G, 11G, anything is fine. SQL, PSQL, you can create it. Okay, this is in my local. This is a database. I have a connection here. I'm just going to log in into this DB. You have to give username and password. So I'm going to give my username and password here. Once you start installing, it will ask for passwords and all. You can give it of your choice. Okay. So now I'm logging into my database. Here we can start writing our query. So you can see here the table section is there. You can create your tables here and put it here. Once you create your table, you will see your table is there. Inside this, you can put your records and everything. Okay, let me quickly create some table for you. Hope my screen is visible, guys. Yes or no? A quick response, guys. I'm just going to demo everything, whatever we have covered with the live application. Okay. Okay, Chatrali, Jyoti, Gautam, cool. Thank you, guys. So let's create a table. We are going to create a table with whatever syntax we covered. So I have a ready-made query with the slides, whatever I showed you. Similar things I'm going to use. I'm not going to make it complicated. Okay, you can relate it. So let's create a table called employee. It will have 4 columns: ID, first name, last name, department, and salary. These are the data types. Let's try to create it and see what happens. We have to simply add this command. Rather, you can say query, because we are discussing SQL, structured query language, right? It's all about query. So you have to write your query here. Okay. So see, I'm just going to query builder. I'm writing a query here. Okay. Now I just hit. You have to select this. and you have to hit on this play button. Okay, run statement. Once you run it, you can see I get a response called table employee created. Okay, so table employee is created here. You can see here, you just scroll CDE. You don't see here, right? Why? You have to refresh it. You need to refresh, then only it will be visible. Okay, so table is created. What I'm going to do is I have to just refresh. I click on this table and here is a refresh icon. You see, the moment I refresh, you will see my employee table visible here with the same description I created. You see, I got an employee now. Yes, no, guys, hope my screen is visible and you guys are following SQL, whatever we covered just now. Okay, Gautam, thank you. So with the data types, you have to just expand it and see whether the order which we created, is it in that fashion or not. You see, 5 columns, everything is there. Okay, you can see from here also the description. If you go to data, I don't have any record here. Yes or no? My table is empty because I just created a table. I have not put anything here. Yes, no, guys, all good? Just quick response, guys. Please be with me. Now this will be all program. So you guys have to respond and then only I will start running the queries. If you not respond, I will not run the queries. Okay. Okay, Siddhi, Atharv, thank you, thank you. I need this kind of response soon. Okay, or else I'll just stop running the queries. So I created it. Let's see how our table looks. So I created my table, and then I want to see how my table looks like. Okay. So for that, what I have to do, I have to use a command called DESC. This is the used for describing how my table looks like. What are the fields I have created? What are its properties? I'm just going to run this command. Okay. So I'm just writing create table, describe table, and I'm going to use this where I'm using describe table name and colon. Okay, this is the command. Previous command was wrong. You have to write describe and table name, and it will explain you what kind of table you have created. So you can see the output. Okay. Yeah, you can write DSC also. You can write full also, Parichuri. That is also fine. Okay. So this is for displaying the table structure. Okay. Let's see. Let's create one more called create table called as organization. Okay. We'll quickly create a table called as organization. Okay, I'm going to delete this and I'm going to write a code for creating a query for creating organization. You can see organization got created. Okay, organization got created. We'll see organization is there or not. So what I have to do, organization initially will not be visible. So I have to refresh it. Okay, I'm going to refresh it and you can see organization table might have come definitely here. You can see organization came. So organization also does not have any data. Okay. Yes, I'm going to add records. I'm going to update records. I'm going to delete. Everything will do. Okay. Same way you can use describe also. Let's try adding some records. I'm going to add 2 records in employee table. Okay. Let me copy this whole. Okay. Let me copy this whole quickly. And we'll start adding our records in these 2 tables. Okay. I copied everything rather than going there again and again. We'll see from here only. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this and I'm going to write the queries for adding the records one by one. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to add one employee into employee table. Okay, I'm going to add employee name and all, one John Doe sales and all. I'm going to put this in the employee table. I just run that. It says 1 row inserted. Okay, fine. I'm going to insert one more record. So you have to select that, whichever you want to run now, you have to select that query and then click on this play icon. You can see one more row inserted. Okay, let's insert something into organization also. I'm gonna insert this in the organization, then again one row inserted, and I'm going to insert one more row, and you can see 4 rows are inserted now. Okay, All good, guys? Cool? Yes, no? Playing with the databases, that's all. Playing with the queries, whatever we covered so far. Okay, so now we have to see whether the data is there or not. So time for select queries, update queries, and all those things. So let's start displaying the data from employee. For displaying the data from the employee, I need select star from employee, right? Okay. So let me go here and just remove all these things and let me close this for now. I'm gonna choose select query and let's see if I have those two records or not. Yes, perfectly fine. I can see those two records which I inserted. Okay, so employee table looks good. And without running the query, I will show you what organization table has. So I'm going to select this organization. You have to click on data. You have to just refresh. You see, organization data is also there. Okay, fine, guys. Yes, no, all good, easy, fun, boring. Okay, yes, star is universal. You can use it to select all. Okay, let me see if I have some more queries to demo for you. Then we are going to update it. So we'll use some update query. Okay, for employee. We're going to update the salary. So employee, let's go to employee and see what was the data earlier so that we can compare. So in employee, I have one salary is equal to 500. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to update salary from 500 to 500, 5500. Okay. It says one row updated. Now let's go to employee and refresh it. This salary from 500, sorry, 5000 changed to 5500. Okay, this is also working fine. So these queries, hope you guys are understanding how these queries are working. Yes, no, guys, all good, fun, boring, easy. You guys have to practice this. Okay, the more you practice, more you will be getting confidence, and you can create anything of your own, create database, whatever you want, create any kind of application, and that's all you can do. Okay, so done with it. Now I want to delete this table. I don't want this organization table at all. And I'm going to delete this organization. I'm done with organization. So you can play with other items also. You can see organization. This organization is there, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my table. So let me close this, and I'm going to just drop my table, and I have to use semicolon and then drop my table name and table organization top. Okay, now this table is no longer available. I just refresh it. Okay, I have to refresh the schema. This table will be gone. Okay, so I hopefully this organization will have gone. So you can see there is no organization table now. Okay, guys, all good. Got some idea SQL, whatever we covered so far. Practice the queries and explore more and get deep dive into it, and it will be more fun. Okay. Okay, so next is what I can show you now. I hope you got some idea. Then what I'm going to see. Okay, yeah, Amar sir, I'll just give you some time. I have to demo the project. So before that, we can start. So you can take this 5 minutes now. After that, I can explain the remaining application. So Amar sir, you want to add something?
Okay, sure. So can I go ahead?
Yes, yes. You complete it, then I will take it up.
Yeah, sure. So sorry for disturbing you actually.
No problem. Okay.
So guys, I have few announcements regarding to you. So today there is no any attendance link, as we already taken attendance form for first 4 day. So our team want to connect with you one-on-one. So those who are looking for a one-on-one conversation with us, so I'm going to share the career counseling and career guidance information form with you. So please mark that form if you are looking for that. Yeah, I shared over Zoom and I'm sharing over YouTube as well. So those who are looking for one-on-one conversation with our industry experts, so please fill this form. Our team will connect with you one-on-one. Okay, so second announcement is that sorry guys. So second announcement is that we have one webinar on upcoming Sunday on 16th of July, and the webinar name is Classroom to Company. Okay, so there is a one webinar on Classroom to Company on upcoming Sunday. So I'm sharing the registration link for the same in the chat box. So please attend this webinar. It will be helpful for you guys as you are in the last year. Okay. And third announcement is that we are going to start one more program for 10 hours on campus recruitment training. And we cover aptitude, then soft skills, and then verbal ability in 10 hours. And we are going to start that program from 17th of the July. It will be for next 5 days and time will be 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So I'm sharing that registration link with you as well in the chat box. So please fill that. Yeah, if you have any query, guys, please drop in the chat box. I will take for 2 minutes. Zoom peoples, YouTube peoples, any query, any question? Okay, so I will explain regarding the certificate. So those who attended 60 and more than 60% of the session, they will receive their certificate via registered email ID within 7 to 8 working days. Okay. Yes, I today is the last day of this program. So someone is asking me for tell me the once more the first link. Okay, so first link be like it's a career counseling and career guidance from ExcelR. So those who want to connect with our industry experts, so I'm sharing that link with you. So please fill that form. Our team members will connect with you personally. Okay. For today, there is no any attendance link. Don't worry. We are going to share the certificates. Those who have attended and mark the attendance more than 60%. Okay. So there is one more question, Varsha. Varsha, don't worry. We are on it by tomorrow or else Monday. You will receive that. Okay. Yes, Sunny, you can take it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ahmad. Okay, guys, shall we get back into the application now? You saw this database world. We saw how to create tables, insert, update, delete, everything we saw, right? So now whatever we covered from our day one, okay, plus whatever we have not covered due to time constant, that you will be seeing through this application. This is a real-time application, okay? Now it is in my local, but you can put it in production or anywhere. It will work as it is, like I told you earlier. Okay, guys, so ready to look into this? Yes, no? Just quick response, yes or no? Okay, let me tell you what this bug tracking application is. Bug, like it's a defect, right? So our application say this ExcelR is an application, okay? This Twitter is an application, or Swiggy is an application. There is a bug in any of the application. Suppose I want to select pizza, that is not working. So I want to raise a ticket. I want to raise a ticket to Swiggy team and tell them that this particular functionality is not working. I'm not able to do payment after selecting 5 pizza. Okay, just giving you a random example. So you create a ticket and send it to the Swiggy team. Okay, so that Swiggy team will take the ticket, have a look, and assign it to some developer or some programmer and ask them to have a look of that and fix it. Correct? Then that programmer will take that up. So like that, daily there will be n number of tickets coming for one application. No, daily there are issues. We guys are calling customer case daily, no, this is not working, that is not working, internet is not working, payment fails, or where is my order, where is my food. These all things we do daily, no. So for every item, there is a ticket getting created, and ticket gets created to that application, and that ticket is assigned to some person. That person works on that until it is resolved, and the user gets a satisfactory result. Correct? That's how we work, no? With any issue. Yes, no? Getting it, guys? So this is what this application will do, this bug tracking application. This will not only track the bugs for one application, it can manage the bugs for many applications. Swiggy, Zomato, they have 100 applications, and in Swiggy there are 100 bugs. This can manage it. It can tell you which bug is getting, resolved, which is in progress, which is new, which is old, who is working on that, when this bug was created, when this is going to get fixed, in which release it is going to be taken care. All these kinds of activities are managed to call application called bug tracking application. Got it? So here we are using Angular, Java. These are all the technologies, whatever we covered. So front end, you will be seeing Angular. Yesterday we saw, right, how we create multiple components. You break your page into small components so that it becomes reusable, right? So all those things, whatever we discussed so far, no, the theories for which you guys are cursing me, that you will not curse today with the live application. Okay, so you will be able to relate it, visualize it, whatever we covered so far in these 5 days. Okay, shall we jump into the code? Yes, no? Okay, got some idea about what this application is? I'm going to demo about. Okay, before explaining the code, I'll quickly run it and show you. Then we'll go to theory. Correct, the code walkthrough. Let's see how this works. Okay, then I will show you the code structure, what languages, where and what. So everything you will not understand because this is a little big project, okay? But definitely you will relate each and everything. Why? Because these 5 days, we kept on talking on these things only. So I'm sure maybe syntax wise, you will not understand everything. But concept and flow wise, you will understand 100%. I can bet. Do you want to try? Let's see. Ready, guys? Let me just run this for you. So for running, you see, we are a full stack developers now, right? We are discussing on full stack development. There is a front end, there is a back end, there is a database. Okay. So my database is already running. Okay. My database is already running. There will be some tables here. I'll show you what are the tables I'm using. Employee and organization, I'm not using these things. We have different tables for our application. So backend is up. I want to run my database is up. I want to run my backend. So how do I run my backend? I have to open something called as our editor, which is Eclipse. So in Eclipse, I have my Java, Spring Boot project, right? All those frameworks and all whatever we discussed. Yes, no, guys. I'm simply running it for you. Then we will discuss on the coding structure and all those things. Okay. You should know how this looks like. So once you see the running application, then you can relate to the theory. Got it, guys? Yes, no, Sishpal, Gautam, guys, everyone. Can you please think quickly? You two people, yes, no? Okay, thank you, everyone. Okay. So see, I have many projects. Since last 5 days, I created a couple of projects and showed to you, right? You remember these programs I showed you? On some of them I showed you, I think. So we have something called as bug tracking application. This is the backend. So I'm going to run this. How to run this? Expand this project, expand this source folder, expand this parent package, and then in this file, which is the main file, I'm going to right click and I'm going to run this. You will see this will run. The backend will be started. So backend code where everything is created, all the functionalities are created for creating a bug, for viewing a bug, everything will be up. So you can see those things. Okay. So let me show you quickly. I'm going to run this. So, and one more thing, guys. I told you, right? Spring project, you have to run it on a server and all. Correct? You need a server to run Spring projects. But this is a Spring Boot project. Okay. You don't need a server here. Spring Boot itself comes with a server. Okay. Spring Boot itself has a server. You don't need a server here. Okay. So I simply run this on a Java application. and it will run on some port. Let me show you the logs. You can see my logs are getting running. Okay, so something is happening. You can see it started on port number 8090, right? And it started the Tomcat server. This is a server. It has its own server. Okay, and you can see at the end I'm getting a message. Bug tracking application is running now. Okay, got it? Yes, no, all good. My backend is up, guys. My backend services are up. Okay, the REST points and endpoints are created. They are all running. If you want, you can access it through Postman, or directly you can access it in the browser. So everything is up. Front end I have not yet launched. Backend is up now. So my database is up. It's up and running. We don't need to run it. Database is there for checking whatever we are going to do. My backend is up. It's running on port. Which port, guys? Can you confirm me once? Port number 8090. Okay. Okay, it's running on a server Apache Tomcat port number 8090. Okay, so my backend is up. So let's see. Through in the backend browser, I'm gonna open this, and there is something called as Swagger. Swagger is something. It will show you once you configure this Swagger in your application. No, once you create a work project, you might have created something to get, something to insert, something to delete. You might have created some endpoints. Many endpoints you might have created, right? For your different components. So it will show everything. It's like a documentation. You can see here. Okay, I'm just opening the Swagger URL. Let me minimize everything. So let me first minimize. I'll just minimize everything. So you can see my application bug tracking has 3 modules. One, application. Which application? Whether it can be Swiggy, Zomato, Facebook, or anything. And that application, Swiggy will have its own bug. Zomato will have its own bug, right? Flipkart will have its own bugs. So different application will have their own bugs. Yes or no, guys? So one module I have for application management. One module I have for bug management. And the bug for Swiggy, when that will be fixed, in which release, which month, which week. So those details, when it will be fixed, is in release module. So getting some idea of my application, I have 3 modules here: application, bug, and release. Okay. Yes, no, quick responses about the modules. Understood? So I will just expand this now. What are things you can do with application module? So there is an endpoint /API /v1 /applications. It will get you all the applications: Swiggy, Zomato, Flipkart, Mintra, Yatra, ClearTip. How many applications are onboarded in this applications which we have created? How many projects are there? So this is for viewing that. Okay, for post is for onboarding any application. You want to add any application, say ExcelR. I want to create an ExcelR for maintaining the bugs for ExcelR. You can say, sir, this link is not working. I'm not able to download the material. You can create a ticket. Okay. You have to select the application, give some description, select the project ExcelR, and that ticket will go to ExcelR team. And that ticket, whoever is responsible will fix it, and your issue will be resolved. Okay. Then for delete, I want to delete some application. I mean some mechanism. I want to delete. I'm no longer supporting Swiggy. I want to delete Swiggy totally. You can use delete operation. Okay, so these are the endpoints. Getting some idea, guys, for application. What these endpoints will do: get, put, post, delete, update. Simple HTTP APIs. Okay, REST APIs you can say. Getting some idea, guys? Yes, no? Quick answers. Okay, I'm seeing some responses. So similarly, we have APIs for bug also. Same. Getting, putting, post, delete for bug. Same for release also. Okay. So 3 modules, their own get, put, post. Okay. Fine. All good. Backend is up. We saw this through Swagger. My endpoints are active. I can start using this, consuming this. Let me quickly show you the bug endpoint. So you just click on this just to see whether everything is working fine or not. Okay. So what this will do, what this is going to do, it will, I want to try it out. Here is something called as try it out. So it will give me, like, this is the JSON, right? You can see JSON response we covered. So if everything is good, you will get a JSON response. I'm trying to get all the applications. How many applications I have? onboarded. Okay, I just hit this. So you see I got 200 response here. So URL will look something like this: http localhost / API / it will give me a list of all applications. It is getting me get all applications whatever I have. So here is some application called robotics, and owner is Ritesh. He doesn't have any bug. Some description is there, some date is there, right? I have one more record called project IFTI. There is one more project IFTI, and this project name, when this was created, who is the owner, and everything is there. So I have two records. Got it? So these endpoints are working fine. All good? Yes or no, guys? Backend is working. You saw it through Swagger. Backend is working. All good? Yes, no? Java services, everything working fine. REST API is working fine. Response, we are getting it as a JSON. Now these things we will display it in the front end. That's all. Full stack development done. Okay. Ready to see the front end, the Angular side, the JavaScript side, how it will integrate to our front end. Database is up. Let me show you this table also. Which table we are referring, guys? Application table, right? So let me just quickly show you application table also. So I will have some table called application, bug and release. So we created here now some tables here. You see I have a table called application. You see some data is there. Two data are here, robotics, and some date is there, and some owners are there. Okay. So this is what you are seeing it through the Swagger URL. Same response. Are you able to follow, guys? Same data, whatever is there in backend, is coming with the help of our application, backend application, which is created in Java, Spring Boot microservices. Okay. All good? Yes, no? Fine. Shall we move? Okay. So let me show you some more tables. What I have, we have some table called bug. Okay. Here I don't have any data. Then what is there? One more table we have, one more module called release. I think we have no. See, release table is there. Here also I don't have record. So only I have a record in application table. Okay. I have created only two records. So let's try. Backend is up and database is good, looks good. Whatever data we are seeing, Swagger is working fine. Time to launch the front end, guys. Okay. All good. Hope you guys are not sleeping. I'm not boring you now. This is fun. Hopefully you are able to relate the theories, how we are using it in real time. Okay. Thank you, Sishpal. So whatever we learned so far, now this is the real time application. For all those pain, whatever you guys gave your time and all, we are sitting here for the last 5 days. This is the output of those 5 days. Okay. Backend is up, every step. I'm not going to give too much of lecture. Let me run the front end. So where is the front end? I have kept my front end. I have in my code base. So backend is up. I started the backend, and database is also all looks good. Now time to run the front end. Okay. Front end, backend, database, full stack done. Yes, no, guys, how cool? Okay, so I have my front end application. You see, yesterday we created something called our Angular JS. We tried no some ng app and ng serve and all those things we do. Ng generate component, new project. So this is our Angular project. I will first run this. I'm gonna open command prompt here. You remember how do we run our project here? So this is my front end. Here I'm going to write ng start Angular start and open my front end application. Backend is already up, so no issue. Let's run the front end application quickly. Okay, time to start the front end application. Once it loads, the browser will open with your application, and there we go. Your front end application, which is created in Angular, is all ready to use. Okay, you can see these things are coming from Angular. This is what we created. We have an image, we have a paragraph, we have a header, some text field, some label, some button, some links. We want to create a new account and all those things. For now, validations are discommented. Okay. So I'm just giving here some ID, ExcelR. Okay, anything is fine. And I have not given validations. Okay, so don't worry about this. So before that, if you don't have an account, you have to go and create your account. See, and notice one thing, guys. Is my page getting refreshed? Yes or no? Is my page getting refreshed? Yes or no? Just notice. If I go here, if I click on create new, my page is not getting refreshed, right? Single page application. It's not like page getting redirected, responsive and all. Everything is there. You minimize it, page is responsive. Items will align itself. So whatever we covered, everything is there. Okay. So suppose you gave some name and I'm just there is no validation. Okay. And I'm telling you no validation. So just don't think this is the right way. You have to give validation. It's a partial code. And I click on this and I click register. Redirection happen. You can see URL gets changed. Okay, sign up success. And it says your account is created successfully, contact and all, blah, blah, blah. And now you can sign it with your ID and we can sign it with QQQ. And then login. It says login user. Okay, login is success. And you can see I have 3 modules, right? That's what I told. You can see I'm clicking on this mouse. You can see mouse over CSS, how this is making lively. CSS, whatever we covered, visited, link. Okay, 3 modules, 3 links. Let's see application management. This is one of the modules. Okay, so we have these endpoints. Okay, Swagger, you remember? In Swagger, we created some endpoints. Okay, see, these 5 endpoints are there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know, 5 or 6, whatever it is. Okay, same things we have given it as a link in the front end. There is my front end. So here is my front end. So these same things, whatever that get was doing. So this get application, where is that Swagger, guys? This one. So what this get will do, it's getting you the list of users, right? From the backend, from the database. Correct? Yes, no, guys, following it. All good. Same thing, you will be seeing it in the front end also. Guys, I need some responses quick. Okay. Okay, Gautam, Shishpal, all good, all good. So same thing, I'm gonna hit this URL and let's see whether the same records are coming here or not. You can see my front end is working fine with the data, whatever you gave in the backend. So everything looks good. Let's try to add data through the front end. We'll try to create one application. Let's create an application. You can see how I'm just navigating through the pages. My pages are not getting refreshed. I'm going to create ExcelR and start training partner. Training partner. I'm going to give some date. There will be a bug. I'm telling first. And owner is say Amar, and I'm going to create it. And you see it says application created. Okay. So ExcelR configured successfully. You get a message also. Okay, let's go back and let's see whether Amar is getting added or not. So we see Amar got added. Date is not getting added. This is a bug. We need to look into this. But yeah, successfully record is added from the front end. Let's see whether the same record went to the backend also or not. Correct, because this should reflect in the backend also. Here it's not reflecting. Why? I need to just refresh, that's all. It's there definitely with a null value of a date. Okay, let me just refresh. Date was not saved. That has to be done. It's in progress because we are working on this since this is a live application. But you see, everything is added. Okay, so that's all about this front end architecture, guys. Okay, this is the front end, back end, how your application is working using Swagger. You can see this kind of applications you can create. I'm going to sign out, and there we go again back. You forgot password, login, reset password, and try logging again. Everything is possible. So this is one kind of application which covers whatever we covered so far, and that's the implementations of the concepts we covered so far. Okay. Since I'm running out of time, that's all from this project, guys. Hope you love this. You can try something out of your own. And just let me quickly go back to the slides. And if you don't mind, I want to take 10-15 minutes more. Is it okay, Amar sir and everyone? Because I have 10 minutes, but still I might need 10 minutes more, guys.
Yes, you can go ahead, no problem.
Okay, so I will not rush now. I'll take 10-15 minutes more, guys. And thank you so much for your patience. And let me quickly run this. So you saw this application. Whatever we covered so far, we implemented and we saw it in real time. Okay, guys, some bugs are there. The bug tracking itself has a bug. That's okay. That's what we do. We as a developers and testers, we develop code, we fix the bugs. We only create the bugs. We only fix the bugs. So that's what we do in software industry. Playing with the bugs, learning concepts, learning technology daily, keep growing, improving, sharing, coding, practicing, implementing. That's the endless cycle we do. Okay. So my question to you guys is now, was that useful or not? Whatever we learned, did that make some sense? I need quick responses. The real-time application, what we saw, was it okay? Yes, no? Quick responses, guys. Okay, I see a lot of responses. Ishpal, Chatrali, Sheikh, Archery, Kai, okay, Akhtar. Okay, so you guys were able to relate it. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Okay, so finally, I think our efforts were not a waste. Okay, so you guys, this is the structure of full stack development. Okay, okay. Any questions before we move to the part 2? That's why I asked for some more time. That will be a very smaller session. Already we covered most of the things. Since there was a delay, I will take 5-10 minutes more. Okay, any questions on the topics, whatever we covered? Yes, it is a single page application, Gautam. Just now we saw, right? The page doesn't get refreshed. Okay. View and view all. If you're asking from SQL point of view or from this program point of view, I'm not sure. Okay, SQL. Oh, okay, it's just a view. It will create an image kind of thing. Okay, table is the actual table. View is a view. You can think like that. There are many differences, but for now you can think like that. Okay. Okay, Varsha. Kind of image. Okay. Okay. If no more questions, then we'll look at part 2. Part 2 is pending, right? Part 2 is pending, and let's see after that. See some interview questions is there. Let me go to quickly interview questions. I want to show you that. You can have a look. I'll not go in detail and take this as a note. Okay, thank you, Sushpal. Okay, I'm not going to discuss. We are already short of time. So I want to show you the second slide. But yeah, these things you can take it as a notes. Even you don't know the things, like I said, take this as a notes. Okay. How to install Oracle and SQL? It's simple. You can download it from Google. There are a lot of Oracle 10G, 11G, many things are there. Once you start installing, select your Windows version, and you can choose your operating system and install and give username, password, and you are good to go. Okay, you can install anything. I have Oracle. You can go with PLSQL or anything. Okay, sir, can you suggest some platform to practice all these concepts practically? Ayush says. Okay, so platform, better you read from the materials and install Oracle or any kind of database, Eclipse or IntelliJ, Visual Studio or any kind of editor for front end, and take some project and start going through the tutorials, try implementing it, and you can make it good programs, and you can start with simple programs, one page only, then go with routing and all, then go with database and all, but start it. Start it because one day you cannot become an expert, right? First you have to write HTML tag, then body tag, then you will write the whole thing. No? First you have to write hello world in Java, then you can write all those beans and hibernate and everything. No? In SQL also, first you have to create a database, create a table, then select star from table name. Then you can do a lot of complex items. No? Start with basic and then slowly take step by step. Okay. One day don't keep pressure on yourself. Okay. This is fun. It's all pure English. These are all not even technical, guys. Okay. They are fooling you saying this technology and all. It's pure English, if you ask me. If you know little bit English, you already know programming and coding. Okay. Okay, let's have quick walkthrough. If any more questions are not there, I'm going to show you the next slides of questions. Okay, let's just take these questions. Okay, for interview, what is Spring Boot? These are the annotations I could not cover. but I can give you a quick walkthrough. This is the code which was running in the backend. Okay, this is the backend. Here we have three entities: application, bug, and release. So you create these things. Just create Java code. So just don't get scared with these codes and colors. Okay, this is all simple things. We already covered class, object, main method, and all. So simple things. I said one by one, start learning the topics and implement it. In one day, you cannot write everything, but one day you will definitely create a class. Second day, definitely you will create an object. Third day, you will start writing a function. Like that, it happens. No? So go slow, take your time. Don't be in a competition. Do not rush. Whatever you learn from your heart and learn to use it and learn with concepts and practical programs more. Okay. So that's the course structure. I'm not going to bore you with this. You can start creating and practicing it. It will be more fun. And I'll just show you the remaining questions. And where is it? Yeah. So after this, okay, these are some questions on transactions, Spring security. Okay, the data JPA, how the URLs are used, RESTful APIs. Then we have something called as response body and all, exception handling. We covered Hibernate. Okay, why do we need Hibernate and all? How do you configure session, entity, request, response, the configuration part? Take these questions for your interviews. Okay, there will be many more, but these are the frequently asked questions. Apart from this, you have to look at other questions also. Do not rely only on this. Okay, since I'm giving them no, these are the only questions. No, there are many things. I'm just giving you a vision and a path. That's how you should walk. Okay, don't walk here and there. Now you have a clear picture in your mind from where you can start learning, which layer you can start, front end or back end, or how you can prepare. So at least you have a roadmap now. Yes, no, how good? Taking up these questions. I'm just quickly scrolling the questions. And then these are the SQL questions which we covered. Select, insert, update, delete. How do you create and all? Sorting and all. Okay, how do you play with database? Once you practice, you will know these things, constants and all. Join, clauses, functions, sorting, mathematical functions, arithmetic functions, logical operators. How do you select and filter the values? And that's all. Okay, these are the questions. You can take it. Let's finally go to the last slide, and that will be all. Hope my screen is visible. Yes, no, guys, can you please confirm? Quick yes or no, guys? Okay, let me put it in full screen, and then we can start talking. Okay. Okay, so this is the last part 2. Like I said, we will be dividing the sessions in two parts, part 1 and part 2. Again, a quick question to you guys. What all we covered in these 5 days? What is your understanding, including today's session? Quick responses. How do you feel? Your feedback kind of thing, or whatever we covered, I just need something in the chat. Okay. What did you learn in these 5 days? Anyways, I'm going to have a quick recap and summarize everything and give a kind of takeaway and notes to you. But what did you cover? Front end, back end, and database. Yes, Venkat, correct. That's what we covered. Start with front end and end with back end. That's correct. But you can even start with back end and complete the front end Gotham. That's also possible. Okay, being a full stack, you can start playing from anywhere. It's not like start from front end then go to back end. Start with back end first. Start with Java side first. Anything is fine. Shishpal says HTML, JavaScript, CSS, React. Yes, that's all we covered. Okay. Or what else? What else, guys? Okay, you guys remember everything, huh? Cool. Okay, Angular database, Angular JS, HTML, CSS. Yes, Shishpal. Yes, Gautam. Correct. So let me sum it up for you. Yes, Ayush. Node, React, SQL. Oh my God, you guys have covered everything. Yes, responsive website. Yeah, even I forgot whatever I discussed, but you guys remember. That's good. Okay, so we covered the overall of full stack development. Okay, and we saw what are the career options. Okay, how this is going to help you in the industry when you are jumping from your colleges and all, and when you land into the IT world, what are the future options where you will be placed? You can be put into front end, you can be put into backend, you can be put into database side, or you can get a combination of these, or you can be directly getting a full stack role depending upon the company's requirement. Like I said, one who knows everything is an asset to the company, and people are fighting for a person who knows all the layers. That is the full stack developer. So that's where the competition is. Okay, and I hope this workshop helped you in understanding the trending technologies and frameworks and the real-time uses and how we work in IT and what kind of things you can do with these kind of technologies, what all you can create, what power you get after learning this, how your mind works, and all these things. You got some vision clear, right? Okay. So that's what this was the whole session about. This will help you in getting into industry, and you are just ready to contribute to the project. Okay, that's what we are trying to do with this kind of sessions and helping you in planning your journey. So the next things, like you guys might be having a lot of questions. So where to do, what to do, sir? Where can I practice? And also these are some of the tips for you. Okay. So whatever we covered in the workshop, apart from that, you should start learning, practicing, and you should be up to date with what are the technologies trending in the market. And do more practice, do more projects, and start working on the projects, exploring the technologies, and read more. And Amal sir is there to explain more on the steps and all, how you can, explore this kind of things with us. And network means engage with other people. Okay. Yes, Ayush, these things will be shared by Amal sir. Okay. And internship, and that's what internship and programs, practice, and job interviews, resume building, all these things we are focusing. So if you will not learn only coding, everything, every aspect has to be taken care. So you learn full stack, but you don't know how to present yourself, right? So those kind of things also is taken care. So you should focus on each and every bit. Okay. And never get scared of errors, or someone says programming is hard, or coding is very difficult. I don't know how people are doing coding and all. Tell them that I will teach you coding. Come to me. I'll tell you what is front end. I will tell you what is back end. I know I can tell you the overall picture. So if someone says you next time coding is tough, I hope you can give them a good answer. Okay. Yes, no, guys. Clear? I need some responses. Okay, okay, okay. Who has given most priority? Who knows both front end only? Yes, who knows everything is definitely an asset. No, that's what I told. Okay. So it's your choice also. Some people like front end, some people like back end more, some people like database more. So it's all your personal choice also. Okay. So some people like only front end. They don't want to get into back end. They love designing the front end. They don't want to get into the logic. So it's their choice. So, but what they are doing in the back end, which you are going to consume in the front end, or whatever you are doing in the front end, they are going to consume in the back end. So you should know little bit of back end also. No? So that's why information and awareness of all the layers is important. It's not mandatory to know all the layers, but definitely one who knows all the layers is the master. He can run the show alone. It's like a one-man army, right? And obviously, if you know everything, salary is nowhere going to be a restriction. That time you will start thinking, why didn't I become a full stack developer? Why did I only learn and focus on front end only? Why did I only focus on back end only? That person is getting more, that person is getting less. These kind of thoughts, if that comes to you, so to avoid that thing, if at this time only, if you start thinking like this, I have to be a full stack developer only, and I can fit into any part, then you will be having a great journey going forward. Okay. No one will stop you from exploring this IT world and just rocking the world of software. Okay. So these are some of the tips I would like to share. Like that's what I told. So if you are thinking that I will only learn front end because colors are very good. I want to design. I like the colors. I want to arrange the button panel. Okay. But you don't know. You prepare everything. Once you go into the industry, they will take interview on a front end only. But once you get into their company, they will ask you to work on both sides. Then that time you cannot say you don't know backend, right? So you should have the power. Don't share your power with everyone, but you should be powerful from all the aspects. So that's why you know everything. Why to be scared? So if you know everything, you will never get worried about salary hike, recession, and all technology and all. Nothing will scare you because you know everything. You can fit anywhere, anytime. That's the beauty of full stack development. Okay, so that scare and that fear will go. Got it? So when you go for interview, okay, just prepare yourself well. Okay, prepare the interview questions and just like the way we are talking now, think it like a conversation, normal conversation. Don't think like I'm going for interview. What will happen if I fail, if I pass, if I get selected or not? Doesn't matter, guys. Interviews will keep on happening. Companies will keep on coming and going. Your knowledge is not going to go anywhere. You focus on your learning. Things will come to you automatically. Okay. So just play smart in the interview, and you should interact with the interviewer. You should not feel scared like you have gone to the principal of the school and he is going to give you TC if you are found guilty. Okay, don't think like that. Think of that recruiter as your senior brother or sister. Okay, and just feel friendly with him or her. Don't get too much friendly, also, but yes, you can ask some questions and just show your interest and just be cool. Okay, because you know the concepts. Even if you something don't know, that's okay, no problem. So keep trying like that. Okay, and there will be moments you will be stressed out by learning or with exams, semesters, or personal issues, or financial issues, a lot of things, even interviews. That person got selected, I'm not getting selected, this and that, and blah 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 blah. Whatever makes you comfortable, do that. This breathing exercises and all, exercise or talk to someone or maintain your posture, take breaks, sit in silence, listen to music, watch movies, eat food, whatever you want. Keep yourself cool. Once you are cool, get back to track again. Start learning the concept, practice, discuss, and do the coding and all, whatever is there. And just be on track. But don't stress yourself too much, okay? Don't compare, don't stress. Only simple mantra. No comparison, no stress. Be cool, be calm, and just focus on your learning. Break the concept, start implementing. Start with hello world, start with I am Angular application, and then build something like Flipkart or Amazon. Okay, fine guys. Any questions? Yes, no? Okay. Okay, if you don't have any questions, guys, thank you so much for your time. And this 1 week, how it passed, I also don't know. It was very much fun for me, and it was a learning for me also. And it was very much fun talking to this lovely audience. You guys were very much patient, and I really thank you all from the core of my heart. And I thank ExcelR and Amar sir also for guiding this session. And if you have any questions, feel free to ping in the chat link and communicate with us. Okay. And what is there? That's all I have to say. And don't worry about anything. I already shared everything. And if you have any questions, I'm still waiting for your questions. And wish you all the very best for your interviews, careers, exams, and whatever you are going to do. I'm sure you guys are going to rock. And we are there to help you with even silly questions. Okay, even silly questions also we are there to help you, whether it is coding or non-coding. So just be positive, and just start from scratch, start from hello world, and then just go and rock this world. Okay. Okay, guys, I think that's all. Thank you so much. Wish you all the very best, and good night, and take care, guys. Amar sir, back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sanjay, for such a wonderful session. I also enjoyed the session actually.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So guys, I already shared the one poll with you. I hope you all of you are enjoyed the session. So please give the poll. Oh, that's wonderful. All people are enjoyed the session. 50 people are already given a poll, and yes, they enjoyed the session. Thank
Sir,
you.
I have a doubt. Amar sir, I have a doubt. How do
Yeah.
I give the vote? I'm also getting the pop-up. I want to vote, but I'm not getting the option.
You're not getting.
No, I'm seeing the option, but how do I poll?
Actually, thing is that now you're a co-host now. That's why you're not able.
Okay. I also wanted to post. Okay, that's fine. I'm saying everyone again. I love the session. I love this experience, and I love the audience. And it was really great experience with you all. Okay. Wish you all the very best, and thank you so much again. I'm back to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So guys, if you have any query or question now, please drop in chat box. We already did by 10 minutes. So we'll take that question from next for next 5 minutes. Then we'll wind up our session. Sir, when will get the certificates? The most important question. So guys, those who attended 60 and more than 60% of the session, they will receive their certificate via registered email ID within 7 to 8 working days. Okay. So Varsha is asking regarding to the attendance. So Varsha, I already informed that today there is no any attendance link. We shared 3 links with you. One is career guidance link. Another one is classroom to company webinar, and third one is CRT program. So I request all of you please register for CRT program because you learn how to do a coding front end, back end, and all the things and database as well. But in CRT, we are going to explain how to crack aptitude, then verbal ability, communication skill, all the things. So I'm sharing that link once again with you guys. So please be there for that program as well. Okay. Yes, the CRT program is going to start from Monday onwards. It will be for 10 hours, Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And Sunday, we have a webinar, classroom to company. So it will happen on the time of 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Simran, it will take 7 to 8 days. Same timing, guys. For CRT, timing will be the same. Sir, I will attend all lecture, but you can fill 2 days attendance. So please give me certificate. Anita, I need to check on that. For more information, please drop an email to edl@excelr.com. I'm sharing that email ID with you. Okay.
Sir, people are asking for notes, so I will be sharing it with the team, and we will be uploading it. Right, sir? Can you please comment on the
Yes.
notes?
So by tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, note will be there for sure. So there are a few feedback. I really enjoyed your classes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Aditya is asking attendance link. Please send again. So I would like to request you, Aditya. Today there is no any attendance. Chaitrali, is there any certificate for webinar too? Chaitrali, webinar is only for 2 hours now, so there is no any certificate for webinar. Chaitrali is asking for a CRT link. Okay, guys, I'm sharing the CRT. CRT means campus recruitment training, and we are going to cover aptitude, how to crack aptitude, then verbal ability and communication skills, like that. So the program is for 10 hours, Monday to Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, guys, anything else? How many days? Thank you, sir. You're welcome. Mukul, which link you want? It will take 7 to 8 days, Hemant. You two people, you have any query question? It's so useful. I learn a lot. Thank you.
certificate link.
Certificate link. So look, there is no any certificate link. We are going to send the certificates via registered email ID. So you will receive soft copy of the certificates. I think it's time to wind up the session. There is no more questions. So thank you so much, all of you, for joining the session. So we'll meet you on the next program from Monday. Okay. Once again, thank you so much, Sunny, for such a wonderful sessions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Wish you all the very best. See you again. Okay.
Live YouTube कसं